I'm not good at this. Hey, this is weird. So I've never actually filmed a YouTube video like this before where I'm just talking to my camera. So it's a little weird, but we're gonna try it. And my camera's almost dead, so that's good. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about AP Art. I am currently a senior in high school and I've taken AP Drawing and AP 2D. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys my drawing portfolio, which is my portfolio from last year. So I personally think I've improved since this, so it's not my best work, but I'm gonna show it to you guys anyway. I feel like I watched so many videos like this and it helped me so much, like, figure out how the class works and what the AP board is really looking for. So I felt that it was my duty to give back and share my portfolio. So my art teacher printed out my portfolio from last year, like screenshots. So I actually have, which is pretty cool, my whole portfolio, because I would have definitely forgotten all these pieces if I didn't have this. So let's get on to it. So as I said before, this is my first YouTube video, so I'd just like to introduce myself. My name's Addie Basetic. I'm a senior in high school. I'm going to UF next year, and yeah. So first I'm going to go over what your breadth is, which is basically your first 12 pieces in your portfolio that you do. And basically during this part you're just trying to show the board that you're able to do art, basically. So you're using the elements and principles to show that you're a well-rounded artist, basically. So my first piece is a drawing of a glass that I did. Let me find it real quick. I have like a bunch of sketchbooks to where I did a few of my pieces, and it's just really hard to find them because there's so many. Well, here's a marker version of it. It's not as good as the actual drawing because I was just playing around with these knockoff Copics basically that I have, but hold on, let me try to find this. Well, for my first one, I don't think I know where it is, so I'm gonna put a picture right here if I have a picture of it, which I hopefully do. Here we go. So it's that first piece right there, drawing of a glass that I did at my house. Yeah. My second piece is a big piece. It's one of my first portraits that I did, and it's not good or proportional. It's this big guy. Yeah, so basically I use my face as a reference, but obviously it does not look like me at all because I didn't understand proportion at this time. But yeah, it's basically this big face and then these 3 sets of eyes staring at her because she doesn't like to be stared at. But yeah, it's a little backstory on that one. Another thing, I highly suggest getting high quality paper. Like, this thing is so thick and it is completely worth it because this thing was actually sitting in my trunk one day and my friend put her purse on top of it and it totally like dented it, and I was like really worried about it, but I just left it and it straightened out because it's so thick. Like, it's such good paper. So I think I spent like $14 on that piece of paper, which is insane, but it's completely worth it, guys. It's completely worth it. I gotta go grab the next piece. Hold on. So for my third breath piece, it's really bad, guys. Okay. I'm showing you guys this in the order that I set up my breath. Like, I sent it in, so it's not like it's ordered in a way where I kind of hid this piece. I'm just gonna show it to you guys really fast because it's actually really bad. So it's just this. It's literally scrap pieces from this other piece I did that you'll see, but I just needed to fill the spot and I thought it was better than nothing. So I threw that together. It's trash, but we're not gonna talk about it. My fourth piece was, I don't have it. It's that one. It's 3 hands. One's out of pen, one's pencil, and then one's charcoal. It's really bad. Another filler piece because my breath was really struggling this year. My next piece is this guy. So it's a skull with this shiny ink on it, and then this is coffee. I actually made these drag marks with this match tool that I made. The AP board really likes it when you make your own tools. So basically I took a bunch of matches, pretend this is a match, and I stuck a pencil on them, and so I could like dip the matches in and like paint with them essentially, and that's like what you can kind of see there and there. And then this guy, this was one at the end of the year that I had to just throw in there. As you can see, it's not very good, but this guy I spent some time on. I love drawing skulls and hands, just a little side note. Next up is this little painting I did of my friend. His name's Gabe. This is one of my first paintings that I've ever done, or portraits at least, and it's a really small little guy, but I really liked the colors and the oranges down here. So yeah, I just threw that one in there. Next up is my first self-portrait I ever did, and it's really bad. It's like really bad, guys, like you have no idea, but are you ready? Yeah, it's me. It's really bad, but it's big, and AP Board likes big things, so. But yeah, literally, like, it's so bad. Like, right here, I was doing some of, like, my freckles, and my teacher was literally like, Addie, like, be careful of that. Like, you don't want marks like that on your paper, but I meant to put them there. They're just really badly painted on. But yeah, and actually one of these eyes is colored pencil and one isn't. It's just a really bad piece, and we're not going to talk about it anymore. Next is another piece that I don't have, but here she is. It's a pen drawing with an oil bar red line through it. It's really not good and unproportional, but I needed foreshadowing in my portfolio, so I threw that one in there. Next up is a piece that my teacher actually assigned us to do over summer. She assigned us 5 or 6 pieces to do over the summer just so we can get a little head start, because it's 24 pieces in 1 year. It's kind of a lot. So this is one of them. It's a still life, and it's really big. I can't really fit it, but that's him. Yeah, it's just banana, apple, and a wine glass on a table that I had to make up the background. I really struggled with backgrounds this year. Yeah, this is one of the first still lifes I ever did, which is pretty crazy to think about, but I'm actually pretty proud of this. It looks pretty good, and it's huge, so that's really good. Next is another glass drawing. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I found it! So, it's a glass drawing of, I think it's a whiskey bottle, honestly. You can't see it because of my light, but that's her. She has a lot of detail in it. White gel pen is the key in this one. But yeah, it's just another still life that I wanted to prove that I could shade basically in it. So yeah, that's that one. Next is a piece that I actually sent in for my quality, and looking back, I really don't know why I sent it in for quality. I guess it's okay, but like, it's a painting of me driving, and it's like not even painted here, but it's fine. But let's see if it'll focus. But yeah, this is her. It's me driving my Jeep that I love, and I literally look super dark because the like lighting is weird on it, but the sun is shining so bright where I look darker. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a shadow over my face, so my hair literally looks black, but it's obviously not. But yeah, it's a cute little painting I did. Next is a cute little screw drawing I did in my sketchbook. Our teacher assigned this as a project. She threw some screws on the table and we were to draw it. And as you can see, I like working small because that is really small and there's a lot of little details in it that was really fun to make. So that was my breath. It's really, compared to my concentration, it's a lot weaker, but that's pretty normal because beginning of the year breath, end of the year concentration, you're gonna get better as the year progresses, so it's supposed to happen. So on to my concentration It was actually really complicated concentration. I didn't even understand it myself, but as long as you're able to kind of BS your way through the AP board in your statement, you're good. But my concentration was basically about choices people make that shape who they are, and I used colors to represent like different choices and different paths, and like the absence of color represented like there was no choice to make or like didn't know how to make the choice. So yeah, it's a little summary of it. I don't have my actual statement, unfortunately, but yeah, that's my summary of it. My first piece is another self-portrait, and I think this one's a lot better than the other one I showed, but yeah, she's very colorful. I look like that girl with the pink and blue hair. I can't think of her name right now, but yeah, I've been told Shrek, Pumpkin. I looked like, I don't know. I wanted to start off with this piece because there's a bunch of colors in it to show like all the choices that I have available to me, and yeah, it's just a good big piece to start out with. So I really love using hands to like symbolize feelings. I really don't know why, guys, but here's my second concentration piece, if it focuses. It's basically a hand with a really like strong shadow on it with little swirlies. The photo that I took of this hand, like the reference photo, I was holding a ruler, and that's why it like cuts off. But even though you obviously can't really tell it's a ruler, I kind of used it to symbolize like time, and we only have so much time, so it's like kind of holding on, and the choices are like swirling around it to, I don't know, look pretty. To be honest, I did this concentration last year, or this portfolio last year, and I've done a whole new portfolio since then, so I don't fully remember everything about each piece, but I'm trying my best. Also, if you guys want to see my portfolio from this year, give this video a thumbs up, and I might do that one too. This is my third piece. I sent it in for quality. So here's like a basic view of it, but if you look super closely, guys, you have no idea how much time I spent on this one. There. That, all of those little squigglies, it's one line. Like, I spent 3 hours at a coffee shop finishing it when it was like this, I did this and I still needed to do this. Yeah, I spent like 3 hours at a coffee shop just doodling a line. But I really like this piece because this heart and this face is actually like cut out pieces of paper that I sewed together with string, if you can see that. The face really isn't that proportional, and I really don't like it that much, but it's still. So good news, my camera just died, but we're gonna resume. So back to this piece. I was just saying how the face isn't the best it could have been, but I kind of had to rush and finish it. Because really, every week we had a project due. Like, it was like back to back to back, and if you were behind, like, you had a lot of catching up to do. So it was a really stressful class, but it was definitely worth it in the end. Highly suggest. But yeah, that is my third piece. Up next, we have another one of my quality pieces, and it's another drawing of a hand. If you know me, you know I love drawing hands, but it's really detailed. There's a lot of highlights and shadows of it on it, but technically speaking, it's a picture of me, my hand, in gesso. It's like a really sticky kind of substance. I have photos of it, so I'll like show a little slideshow there, but yeah, that is one of my quality pieces. So my next piece, I don't know where it is, and it's really unfortunate because I actually really like this piece, but I'll show you guys the screenshot of it. So it's a photo of me, my hands holding a phone, and there's like warm colored swirls in the inside of it, and then like cool colored swirls on the outside of it. I really liked it because of the contrasting colors compared to the ones on the phone and then on the outside of it, because the main idea of it is how people present themselves on your phone is a lot different than they are in the actual world. So I use that. I use colors to symbolize the difference between those two things. So my next piece has a great little story to it. So it's this. It's really plain, which explains why I got the score I got, but it's my eyes with my glasses on looking at these. Oh my gosh. So this circle with this little circle, there's a big meaning behind it, but actually I'll read you a little summary of what that is. Yeah, so this little page in my sketchbook is like the first one I ever drew, but this is my little summary of the shape, so I'll just read it. We are all going through life, yet rarely any of us realize we're in control. We choose how we react to things. It's all within us. However, so many people are blinded by this idea of validation. If you constantly are trying to fit in to the cookie-cutter shape of society, you'll never be satisfied. Society's standards are never at ease, therefore neither will you. Find your own goals, your own purpose. Once you do this, you'll find that life around you shapes and changes to your benefit. I have found that place, what and who I need to be. Life is now genuine, and I am learning what choices I need to make slowly each day. I've gained people on my wavelength, and they're growing me even more. That kind of shows where I was at the point where I made this piece. So basically the big circle symbolizes like society and people as a whole, and this little dot is people who like have found their passion and really like strive to be their best. And it's obviously a lot smaller than this big group, but basically the idea is to find your little group, like find where that is. And yeah, that's my little thing. It's funny because when I actually submitted this piece, this is gross guys, hear me out though, I actually put my contacts on this piece, like on top of it, because my contacts are my literal way of viewing the world around me, and without them I literally couldn't see. I'm blind, but yeah, I wanted to, because I have my glasses on here, and I wanted to symbolize how that was my kind of viewfinder, like, kind of thing. I don't really know how to describe it, but I think you know what I mean. Next, we have this guy. It's another hand, but, yeah, it's a pretty plain piece. There's a bunch of writing in the background. Viewpoint, but, yeah. This is my 7th piece, and the hand of choices is now like being tempted to go into the black pit, and the black pit is bad. So like this like good person is being tempted, and just that little drop like flowed onto them, and that's not good. This one is funny because of my face in it, but it's me, if you can't tell. And in the background I have dollar bills painted on there in warm and cool colors. I wanted the dollar bills to symbolize society again, and basically how society's so wrapped up in like the American dream and money, where they're not focused on themselves and bettering themselves before, I don't even know. But it's basically my viewing of this idea, and I don't like it, if you couldn't tell by my ogre face. Next up is my 8th piece, and it's this guy. So this is that model chick, Gigi Hadid. That's it. So this one resulted in this backup piece that I showed you guys earlier, but this one was pretty fun to make just because of the strings and like taping all of that and then burning these holes. I really like burning holes in things. I don't know why. I just really like fire. Yeah, basically I made this cutout part, and then I needed a background for it, so I did this really ugly looking background and burnt holes in it. And that's that piece. So next is actually my favorite piece. It's this little guy. He's a little cut off from the mat board, but yeah, this is the first time I used that match tool thing that I was talking about earlier with the dragging the matches. I dipped the matches in ink for that one. And then this was the first time I burnt holes in. This was my favorite piece just because it really resonated me at the time that I made it. It's really symbolic of things I was going through and, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, here you can see the colorful hand, and it's like letting go of this dry hand. And I titled it Letting Go of Toxic People. It's one of my favorite pieces, as I said before. Next is one of my favorite pieces also, just because of the shapeness of it. But it's actually on dictionary book pages. One of my favorite things to do art on. But it's another photo of me. It doesn't really look like me though. And basically this is my second to last piece. So I did it on the page that said choice. And instead of the definition of choice, I cut it out and put the definition for decide, and I put choice here. Because I'm at my end of the concentration. I've decided. What I decided, I'm going to leave that up to you to try to figure out. But I'm not going to explain it because, you know, an artist never tells their secrets. And my last but not least piece is another self-portrait. It's this huge guy. I look like Megamind. Here she is. It's my face from my nose up, and there's no color on this one compared to my first one with all the colors because it's at the end and I've decided. I made all the choices, and yeah, I actually skipped like a whole 2 days of school just to finish this. But yeah, finishing up my concentration with this one because I wanted to. And I really liked how I started with a big piece and ended with a big piece. Here's like an overall view of my concentration on paper. So yeah, you can see just how like colorful it overall is. And it actually matters like the way you order it online. The AP board actually like, because it's like their first impression. They look at your portfolio and it's like you want it to be a good impression. So I specifically ordered them in a way that made sense. Little pro tip. But yeah, that is my portfolio from my junior year in high school, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Once again, I highly suggest taking AP Art if your school offers it, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up.